The following is a special presentation from ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Bills come away with a 7-point win. The Texans won this contest, but will stay at the fourth place in the AFC South. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Panthers pick up their sixth win of the year. Lewis stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Raiders, Broncos stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. Let's get started in this one early in the first quarter. Number 21 was able to step in front of his pass and pick one off, but he wasn't done there. Touchdown for the Broncos. The Broncos get the first points of the game and go up by 7. The Bronx later in the first, Nnamdi Asomugha was in the right place at the right time, as his interception was a possible momentum shifter. The Bronx, now early in the second quarter, Bronx up by 7. Young would make the first guy miss, then he'd rip off a chunk of yardage here. They're now up by 10. The Raiders on defense, Dre Bly, comes up big here as this ball's out, and he's in the right spot for the recovery. Raiders back 10-0. Gabriel Wilson is reading the quarterback's eyes all the way as he's able to get his hands on this one and pick it off. The Raiders, after getting an interception, DJ Williams would come up with the big play to kill a drive as he was able to step in front of a wayward pass for an INT. The Bronx, still late in the second quarter, Bronx ahead by 10. Gabriel Wilson would come up with a huge play here as he was able to pick one off here, then had some clear sailing in front of him. They climb back into the game, now down by 3. The Bronx late in the second quarter, number 6, connected with his man on this one. And that's where we'll leave this one. Bronx are holding on to a lead, 10-7. Morrison gonna have a beat on this one. It's a fumble. He's right there to get his hands on it. The Raiders, after recovering a fumble, the Raiders in control at the 2. Miller would find a way to get open, and the pass was right on the money. A 1-yard touchdown for the Raiders. Raiders out in front by 4. Sebastian Janikowski is going to try to dial one in from very long distance. Plenty of leg to it, though. It's good. The Bronx on D. Huff was in the right place at the right time, as his interception was a possible momentum shifter. Bronx down 17-10. After driving 16 yards on 4 plays, Sebastian Janikowski is called upon after the red zone problems, and he is true on the short field goal attempt. A 32-yard field goal. The Raiders move ahead by 10. The Bronx answer right back, ball at the 42. Number 6 would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. A 10-yard touchdown for the Broncos. The Raiders trying to answer back, Raiders winning by 3. Number 89 came up with a big play as he was able to pull this one in. The Bronx on D, Johnson would make a big play. It's a fumble. He picks it up, he'd be off the other way. Touchdown for the Raiders. And that's where we'll leave this one. Raiders win this one 30-17. Michael Gaines had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Lions beat the Buccaneers. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey? Down in South Florida, Miami, we had the Dolphins end up on the short end of an 18-point shtick. Colts, Chargers stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. Action midway through the first quarter. Phillip Rivers is back to throw as they want to air it out here, and this one is right on target. A 35-yard play that set up a Charger touchdown. The Chargers strike first and go up by 7. On 5 plays, Nick Kading would come on and connect on the field goal try. The Colts midway through the second, Colts behind by 10. Starvin Marvin Harrison was definitely a key as he was able to work his way open for a big one here. They climb back into the game, now down by 3. Chargers middle of the second, number 43 would turn things around. Big shift in momentum here as he pounced on a fumble. The defense recovered. And that's where we'll leave this one. Bolts are holding on to a lead, 10-7. Marvin Harrison came up with a huge play here as they cover a lot of real estate on this one. A 58-yard play that set up a Colt touchdown. The Colts are in front for the first time. They're now up by 4. Number 41 would come up with the big play to kill a drive as he was able to step in front of a wayward pass for an INT. Colts leading by 4. Quentin Jammer shows some great awareness here as he gets himself into position to pick this one off. The Bolts on defense, number 26, was in the right place at the right time, as his interception was a possible momentum shifter. And that's where we'll leave this one. Colts edge out a win, 14-10. Up in Seattle Stadium, we had the Seahawks drop this one by 17. The Cowboys erupted for 400-plus offensive yards in their victory at Texas Stadium. The Bengals won on the road and will now head home to meet the Ravens. Eagles, Ravens. Kept it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. Action midway through the first quarter. Number 5 had it working as he connected with his man here for a big one. That set up an automatic 21-yard field goal. The Ravens strike first and go up by 3. Eagles later on in the second quarter, Donovan McNabb would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. Ravens midway through the second. Ravens leading by 3. Number 37 is going to come up with the big play here. Whoop! The ball's loose. Scramble. He's there to grab it. They take the lead again and go up by 4. Eagles late in the second quarter. Donovan McNabb would find his target on this one. And that's where we'll leave this one. Ravens are down, but still in it, 7-3. Quarter. Todd Uriah Heep had to work to find an opening, but he was able to haul this one in. A 29-yard play that set up a Raven touchdown. The Ravens take their first lead in the half and go up by 3. The Ravens, after a stop on 4th down, knocking at the door. Willis McGahee got the carry as they pounded at him on the ground, and he made the most of it. Touchdown for the Ravens. Eagles trailing by 10. Chris Billy Joe McAllister would come up with the big play to kill a drive as he was able to step in front of a wayward pass for an INT. The Ravens have it off an interception. Willis McGahee get up ahead of steam, and then it was clear sailing from there. A 12-yard touchdown for the Ravens. Ravens leading 24-7. Washington is reading the quarterback's eyes all the way as he's able to get his hands on this one and pick it off. And that's where we'll leave this one. Ravens come away with a win, 24-7. The Packers won this contest, but will stay at the first place in the NFC North. The Jets win yet again this week and keep their impressive streak alive. Adrian Peterson pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Bears beat the Rams. Giants, Cardinals. Receiving Eli Manning is always a double threat in the red zone at the 5-yard line. There's a snap. And in the slot, the back quickly in the end zone for 6. The Giants go on to win this by the final score of 32-28. So let's change things up a bit and turn to a guy that's had his eye on the college game, and that's our own Mel Kiper Jr. He joins us now. Mel. So that'll just about do it. But before we go, I'm going to toss out a few game balls to my prime-time players. Each and every one of these men had a week to remember. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.